Yes, guys, hope everyone is all good and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Yeah, it's been quite a few months now since my last video, which was the IMBA Hungary show day video with Leo for his final show of the season. And what I thought I'd do is come back to the YouTube with a 2024 review. I did one of these last year and it went down really well. But this time around, I'm going to make it much more personable because I think realistically, for me, 2024 was the most impactful, life-changing and difficult year of my life. And showing that alongside some vulnerability, I think is really important, showing the real side of me. Because I think often I like to keep things very business orientated, very bodybuilding orientated, and don't really show the personality behind it and the person behind the actual YouTube channel. So I think doing that this year is definitely a big focus of mine. And yeah, that all starts with this video. So we'll go back to January, and the first big event of the year definitely was Harry competing. So as many of you will know from following the YouTube channel and also following my Instagram, I've coached Harry for, it's coming up to 2 years now. So since around April 2023. And yeah, that prep was truly incredible to be a part of. I think just watching someone that I'm very close to go through that process and achieve what he achieved, not from a placing standpoint or award standpoint. He didn't really win anything, to be honest. Sorry, Harry. But what he achieved in terms of the physique and the level of conditioning he brought to stage truly did inspire me. And also, it's going to inspire future clients of mine who are looking to step on stage. So yeah, thank you, Harry, for that, because you really did show the level of discipline, hard work, and also just commitment to the process that you need to achieve that level of transformation and achieve that level of physique. So that was really, really good to be a part of. He competed in 3 shows across May and June. And then I also had Leo competing last year. So Leo competed in the UKFBA finals, which he won, which was a massive goal that I ticked off last year. Ever since I started coaching, one of my biggest goals was to win the British title as a coach. And to get that ticked off with someone, again, who's a massively close friend to me, like Leo, was again a great experience to have. And then traveling abroad with him, competing in Hungary, coming third in the world at the IMBA Universe again was just a really, really good experience to have, and one that makes me very excited for the future as well. Alongside that, the more lifestyle side of the team, all doing extremely well. Had a lot of new clients come on board, all making drastic amounts of progress towards their goals as individuals. It's not just competitors on the team, we have a whole host of different people with different goals. But yeah, business is going well, and that also carries me over onto the point of business. As you might have noticed, last year I did leave One Coaching. So it's never something I've really addressed on the YouTube or on my Instagram because I didn't want there to be any kind of drama or anything like that. I'm not that kind of person. And at the end of the day, it was quite an amicable split. There was no malice behind it whatsoever. I think when it came to going forward with the business, the way I wanted to approach things, the way HL wanted to approach things, and also just the way the business was structured, we definitely didn't align on a lot of those things. So realistically, the best port of call for me to do was to go on my own, make my own business, do things the way I want to do them, run things the way I want to run them, and build a coaching business that I want to have under my name. So that's what I've done with Rise Online Coaching, and that took up a big majority at the end of the year. From around June, when I left One Coaching, to now, I've been building up that business, really learning a lot about how to run a business, learning a lot how to market, how to grow a business, etc. And yeah, it's going really, really well. And yeah, I'll leave that side of things there. So that brings us up to around June. Obviously, I spoke about Leo's prep, which was later on in the year, but it makes more sense to go back to June now. So around that time, in summer, I did a lot of traveling, and always one of my goals with coaching was to have a job which I could do anywhere around the world. I've always loved traveling, visiting different countries, experiencing different cultures. That's always been really important to me. And being an online coach allows you to do that while still working. And yeah, over summer, I traveled to a variety of different countries, which was amazing. I know that's a massive privilege to be able to do, but also at the same time, I am someone who definitely struggles with being out of routine, and it sounds like such a third world problem. So it's probably best for me to give you a bit of background here. I have basically struggled with my mental health since around 2016. So since I was 16, I've been pretty much struggling with mental health since then. And I've also been on antidepressants over the last couple of years as well. And something that really makes me stay in a good mental space and helps me deal with my depression, deal with that side of things, is being in a really strict routine. And while going on all these holidays was a really good experience for me, and I loved doing it, at the same time, it kind of caused me to go into a bit of a mental spiral because I wasn't in that routine that keeps my mind occupied. If my mind isn't occupied and I don't feel like I'm being productive, I think I just end up overthinking about things. I end up getting very down a lot of the time, and that definitely took over towards the end of those holidays. And yeah, I think it's important to speak about it because it's not something very many people know about me. I've only really told the people closest to me, so my girlfriend Libby, then my family, and that's about it, to be honest. Even my closest friends don't know this, but at the same time, I think after dealing with it for so long, like nearly a decade now, I think coming out there and saying it is important because I know that when I see other people talk about it online and what they've been through, it makes me feel not alone. And especially in this industry where it is such a lonely industry, putting yourself out there, speaking more about you as a person, and as I mentioned at the start, being vulnerable is really important. So yeah, that's what I went through in summer, and that carried over to the end of the year, probably being the darkest couple of months of my life. I moved into this new house. Again, it sounds incredible. I bought my first house, and again, I just wasn't happy whatsoever. I think for me, it's very difficult to speak about it because there's no reason for me to be unhappy. I've got an amazing life. I've got an amazing career. I'm doing what I love. But at the same time, a lot of the time when I'm not in that routine and not being productive, I can just become a very low person and be in a very poor state of mind. So yeah, my mental health was gradually deteriorating from the start of summer, probably all the way through to the last holiday, so Hungary. And at that point, that's when those really low months came about. And the reason for that is stupidly, and I don't know why I did it at the time. I think for me, I thought I just had enough. I basically went cold turkey on my medication. And that, again, just sent me into another spiral with my mental health. And at that point, the only thing I could really focus on and really actually do every single day was my coaching. And hopefully none of my clients realize, because I try to keep my coaching to the absolute highest quality and not let it be affected at all. But with my mental health getting so bad, that definitely had an impact on all other areas of my life. So my personal life, with relationships with the people around me, also with my physique, my eating habits, my training, everything was massively affected by that. And it's only recently, after getting back on medication, after seeking therapy as well, that I've managed to pull myself out of that and get me into a position now where I can speak about it openly and kind of move forward from it. And that's not to say that I'm never going to suffer with that again. I know for me as a person, I'm always going to suffer with mental health no matter what, but it's about how I deal with it and making sure that I work around it as much as I can. That's what I've learned over the last couple of months, basically. So I won't do too much of a sob story because realistically, a lot of people go through it, and I think it is important to put it out there just so people can understand me a little bit more. And it also kind of explains why I don't post on here or on my Instagram quite as much when I am feeling like that, because realistically, I don't want to put myself out there when I'm not being myself. And over those months, if I had posted YouTube videos or posted Instagram content, it would have been awful. It would have been the worst content you've ever seen. It would have been the most depressing content you've ever seen because of the way I was. So this year, I'm doing it completely differently. I don't want to put any pressure on posting. I just want to focus on my business, my clients, and also my physique progress, because that's been really neglected over the last couple of months. And I was speaking to one of my actually longest serving client, Lawrence, the other day about this, and it definitely needs to become one of my priorities again. Realistically, I need to lead from the front. I need to do what I'm asking my clients to do, and that means being consistent with nutrition, being consistent with my training, and that all starts from now, basically. So I'm holding myself accountable by putting this out there on YouTube, and that's something I really want to document on my way back to full health, on my way back to the peak version of me. Over the next few months, I'm determined to get back there, and I want to show every part of that story as well. So I'm not going to say I'm posting every week. I'm not going to say I'm posting every day on Instagram. I'm going to do what's going to make me feel good. I'm going to show all aspects of the journey. I'm going to show the business growing over the next few months as well. I'm going to show my clients' progress, my own struggles, my own training, my own nutrition, etc. And hopefully give you guys a bit more of a true idea of who I am and the process that I go through as a person, because I put a lot of pressure on myself to be this perfect role model for my clients. I'm a coach who tells people what to do, and I'm regarded as a very good coach at that. So for me to say that I haven't been on it with my training, haven't been on it with my nutrition over the last few months, that is somewhat embarrassing, and that's why it's taken me so long to come out with this. Realistically, right now, I'm probably in the worst shape I've been in quite a few years. My mental health definitely is on the up, but it has a lot of room to improve. And I think by showing that side of me and showing that I'm not perfect. I'm not going to be on plan 100% of the time, never missing a beat. That's not me as a person. I will fall off track sometimes, and show myself that I can get back on track, and clients can do the same. And being a role model from that aspect, it's really what I want to do this year. So yeah, hopefully that explains a lot about the previous year, a lot about where my head's been at, a lot about what we're going to do moving forward to get me back to my best. And hopefully you guys enjoyed watching the video. So yeah, that's pretty much everything covered. Hopefully you're going to be seeing a lot more content on here over the next few months, alongside everything else that's going on in my life and my business. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.